Previously, on the Last Boy Scouts Survival and Bushcraft channel.
We're going to be building target stands for shooting.
Come on, guys.
All right, now that we got most of the logistics out of the way, safety first. Are cut to the dimension of, which is 12 inches. Well, I really fucked that one up, didn't I? Welcome back to another episode of the Last Boy Scouts Survival and Bushcraft. It's been a while, but here we are, back to finish part 2 of our target build. If you haven't seen part 1, after this episode, go back so that you can see all the tools that you'll need, all the safety precautions that you should take, and the cost to build both targets. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one, and you're going to learn something.
Sound good? Yes, sir! That's what I like to hear.
My eyes are getting bad. The skillful fighter puts himself into a position which makes defeat impossible and does not miss the moment for defeating the enemy. Well, Sun Tzu, one of the wisest military strategists in ancient history, teaches for us to be able to always be victorious, we should always essentially be prepared. How do we do that? Practice, because practice prevents piss poor performance. You want to always train how you want to perform, so that way when it comes time to perform, you perform how you train. And the way we train for accuracy, precision, and success is with targets. So let's get started. The last time we hung out, we built this. This time, for part 2, we're building an Arbol De Vida, or in English, the Tree of Life. Now here's a brief 3-step process of how we're going to attack this. We're going to cut, drill, and assembly. And the materials that we're gonna need are the pre-assembled base that we made for our first target, 2 2x4s, or if we're gonna get technical, a 1x5 by 3.5, 4 threaded hooks that will be able to bear the weight of our targets, 3-inch wood screws, and finally 2 AR 500 steel plates that are suitable for target shooting. I was able to purchase these bad boys on the Amazons. All I'm saying is I think y'all would look really good in one of these sweatshirts. Be sure to check out the description box after the video to find out how you can get yourself one of these outstanding sweatshirts, custom patches, magnets, and LBS custom stickers. I'm going to be measuring out before I cut. I have one 36-inch cut, one 60-inch cut, and two 12-inch cuts. If you do your math correctly, one 2x4 is approximately 8 feet long. 60 inches plus the 36 inches is 5 foot by 3 foot, which equals...
I hit the and then she's like, why the you hit the
8 feet. So when you make that one cut on one 2x4, you'll have 2 of the pieces that you need. Now, for my second piece here, I didn't need a full 8-foot 2x4. I just took a scrap from our last project, measured out my first 24 inches, which is 2 feet, cut that in half, and I have my 2 1-foot or 12-inch pieces that are going to act as braces for my tree of life. Next, we're going to be working on our angle cuts. First, we got to measure out on both 12-inch pieces so we can get that good angle. Now, I do not anticipate that the cuts are going to be perfect, that it is going to look like a craftsmanship masterpiece. It just needs to function. All you're trying to do is brace your 90-degree angle so that it is more structurally sound. There may be other ways that you can find that will be easier for you, but I wanted to be a little bit more creative and try it this way. next step, now that all of our cuts are complete, we're going to be framing everything out here on the workbench, lining everything up, making sure that our measurements and our proportions are all aesthetically correct. And then after that, we're going to mark each of our points that we're going to be drilling, drill all of our holes, set all of our screws, plug them in, and we're almost there. So something like this. And this will give it a more stable brace for the entire frame. Then afterwards, we're going to be drilling holes onto each side, hanging our hooks, our plates, and then we will also have a stable flat platform on the top of the tree that if we want to set any other stationary type smaller targets, we can set them on top of this as well. All right, before we can start assembling anything, we need to locate the middle portion of our upper branches, our upper beam, okay? So the total length of this upper beam is 36 inches, divided by 2 is 18. So I measure out 18 inches and I drew a line to find my centerpiece. Up here at the top, I will be drilling 2 holes down into this 2x4 and sinking 2 of these 3-inch screws. After which, I will be taking these braces, which I will stagger on the beam, because if you try and center it or try and line them up, there's no way you're going to be able to secure both of them with screws, because one will be blocking the other. So what I've decided to do is to have one on the lower portion and one on the upper portion. So that way I can actually drill into and sink screws into these to make them secure. Now I'm gonna start off with only sinking 1 screw into the bottom portion of this and 1 into the top, and vice versa, 1 into the bottom of this, 1 into the bottom of that, and we'll see how secure. If I feel like I need to make any adjustments to make it more secure, then I'll do that.
Do you exercise?
Yes, love making and woodworking.
Let's see what happens when I don't pre-drill. Well, as you can see, I did double on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and double up on this side, the side that left that huge gap, as well as I'm gonna sink another extra one in this portion right here. I'm gonna try and level it out, because as I see it right now, once I stand this thing up, it is not gonna look very level. It'll still work, serve its purpose, but it won't be as aesthetically beautiful as I would like it to be. Well, not gonna lie, this is really pissing me off.
Whoa, whoa, hey, Jumbo. You know the Jumbo, yeah?
Cool, baby.
But I tell you what, we're gonna push through. We're gonna learn from our mistakes, and the next time we do this, we will make sure all of our cuts are precise, so that way when we drill in, we don't have these warped pieces, and it will work better. All right, for this next part, we're going to be placing our hooks for our targets. And the way to line these up, kind of like a cheat way to do it, is we're just gonna take our target, we're gonna line it up to where we want it, approximately center and symmetrical from one side to the other. And then we're going to take our pencil and we're just going to mark on the inside the points where we're going to drill for our hooks. Voila. And there you have it. And there you have it. 2 target stands, not completely carpentry perfect, but will serve your needs as you continue your practice to prepare for whatever threat may come your way. Be sure to check out the description box, which will contain a list of all the materials, measurements, tools, and so forth for you to build your own targets. That's going to do it for this episode. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, invite your friends, have them subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Our next episode will feature 3 different blades from the brand Tecto. They are all considered California compliant EDC type pocket carry blades. You're not going to want to miss that one, so make sure you stay tuned. So until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant. Knowledge is your weapon. Be prepared.
Introducing the new CDCR custom morale pins from Siete Mares Gifts Co. These are not just pins, they're a statement. Designed for those who walk the toughest beats behind the wire. Made for those who carry the burden of order in a world where chaos is constant. High-quality solid metal finish. Rugged, custom art steeped in correctional symbolism. Built for tactical bags, gear rigs, and morale boards. Whether you're active, retired, or just showing respect to the brothers and sisters holding the line. Link in description box.